fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Be the fam, that's what they call me.
Welcome back to another video here on Whitestoner's channel. So, I am actually doing very good, more than I thought I would. I have 104 subscribers. I thank you all for who subscribed. Let's keep raising that number. My goal is to have around 300 by the end of the year. So if we can make that goal, please let's get that going. Don't forget to leave a like, comment down below on your thoughts of the Ruthless Aggression Era. That was my era I grew up on. So I figured I would come on here and show you and tell you 10 of my favorite pay-per-views from 2002 to early or 2008, except I didn't pick one from 2008. That's okay. But the Ruthless Aggression Era was 2002 to 2008. And I tried to pick pay-per-views that wasn't WrestleMania or anything like that, because we all know how great WrestleMania is and how great those matches are. So I got inspired to do this video from Relaxing Ghost. He just did the Attitude Era, his list of the Attitude Era, so I thought I'd do the next era and Ruthless Aggression and do that pay-per-view. So check his video out if you want to see that, and subscribe to him while you're on his channel if you haven't. So let's get into my top 10 pay-per-view list of the Ruthless Aggression Era, what I thought was the best pay-per-views. And tell me what your list would be down below. Starting at number 10, we have the 2006 New Year's Revolution. This I thought was a pretty good pay-per-view. You had Jerry Lawler versus Gregory Helms, which was a little disappointing. Other than that, the whole show was really good. You had the first ever Braun Penny's Gauntlet match. Ashley Maria, Candice Michelle, Tori Wilson, and Victoria was great. Trish Stratus and Mickie James for the women's title was awesome. Big Show and Triple H again was awesome. Ric Flair versus Edge for the Intercontinental title. If Edge won the Intercontinental title here, oh my God, that would have been great. And then you had the Elimination Chamber match between John Cena, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Chris Masters, Carlito, and Kane. And a great chamber match. One of the best in my opinion. So this pay-per-view is known for Edge cashing in his Money in the Bank, which is really cool. Like I said, if Edge won the Intercontinental Championship and cashed in and became WWE Champion, that would have been so cool. Number 9, we have the 2006 SummerSlam. This is one of my favorite SummerSlams because I just have so much fun watching this show. You have Rey Mysterio and Chavo in a decent opener. You have a great I Quit match between Ric Flair and Mick Foley. Hulk Hogan versus Randy Orton was decent. DX versus Mr. McMahon and Shane was alright. The Big Show versus Sabu for the ECW World Title was a great match, one of my favorites. Honestly, in my opinion, this could have been one of the greatest of all time if Batista won the match between King Booker for the world title. If that happened, I think this would have been a great SummerSlam, in my opinion. And we had Edge versus John Cena. This was in Boston, Massachusetts. And we had Edge using the brass knuckles on Cena to get the win, which is typical because Edge was a heel during this time. So that was not right in a lot of people's eyes. But if you're going to be heel and do that, I think it's alright. And this is a great cover, too. Our next, number 8, is the 2005 Survivor Series. I honestly love this cover. I think this is one of the best Survivor Series of this time in Ruthless Aggression Era. Trish Stratus versus Melina was awesome. Sort of. We had a general manager versus general manager match. That wasn't too exciting. Eric Bischoff versus Teddy Long. Chris Benoit versus Booker T. Match one of the best of 7 United States matches. Ric Flair versus Triple H in a last man standing match. I thought that was really good. We had John Cena versus Kurt Angle with Khosrow Davari as a special guest referee. And we had Team Raw versus Team SmackDown in the only traditional Survivor Series match. It was Batista, Randy Orton, JBL, Rey Mysterio, and Bobby Lashley versus Shawn Michaels, Kane, Big Show, Carlito, and Chris Masters. And once again, Randy Orton was the sole survivor. And then we had the return of The Undertaker, which was so cool. So, I recommend this one if you don't have it. So go check this one out. Next up, number 7 is Vengeance 2005. I don't see too many people talk about this one. Fun fact. This is, during the brand splits and stuff, this was the only pay-per-view to have the WWE title and world title on its show. We had Edge versus Kane, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle in their rematch from WrestleMania, which was an awesome match. Carlito versus Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental title. Christy Hemme versus Victoria. John Cena versus Christian versus Chris Jericho for the WWE title. And then we had Batista versus Triple H 3 in the Hell in a Cell match. And I honestly thought that was a really good Hell in a Cell match. One of my favorites to go back and watch. So, if you have not checked out Vengeance 2005, I recommend you go and do that. Next up, we have the 2004 Royal Rumble. There isn't much to say about this because of how great it is. We have the Dudleys versus Ric Flair and Batista. We have Rey Mysterio versus Jamie Noble in the Cruiserweight title. Eddie Guerrero versus Chavo. And then we have the Royal Rumble match where Chris Benoit won. One of my favorites. Honestly, I think they should have put Chris Benoit on the cover instead of John Cena. Because having Cena on the cover, to me, doesn't make sense. We had Brock Lesnar versus Hardcore Holly in a great match. And we had Triple H and Shawn Michaels in one of the greatest last man standing matches I've ever seen. It was so brutal, they both couldn't get up. So, that was awesome. Now we're getting to our top 5. This one was a little difficult, but I think I got the order right. We got, for number 5, we got ECW One Night Stand. 2006. This, I think, was better than the first one. You got FBI versus Tajiri and Super Crazy. Taz versus Jerry the King Lawler. Balls Mahoney versus Masato Tonka. Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton was awesome. Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk and so the one chick that came out with them versus Mick Foley, Edge and Lita. That was my favorite match of the night. We had Rey Mysterio and Sabu. That was another great match. That match had to get stopped. We had John Cena versus RVD. And a great match. And RVD became the WWE Champion here tonight. And you also get the first ever ECW pay-per-view with this. This was a great show. Number 4. We have my favorite Royal Rumble of all time. The 2007 Royal Rumble. John Cena versus Umaga in the last man standing match was pretty good. Batista and Mr. Kennedy. Okay, Mr. Kennedy gave us our money's worth. I honestly thought he was going to beat him there. And we had Bobby Lashley and Test in not such a good match. But what made it my favorite Rumble was the Royal Rumble match itself. Undertaker winning was awesome. Undertaker becoming the first man to win from the 30 position was great. So, this is number 4 on my list. I think I should have put it higher, but it's alright. Next, number 3, we have the 2002 Royal Rumble. The cover is not the best, but this was a great show. Spike and Taz versus the Dudley Boys. Edge and Willie Regal for the Intercontinental title was awesome. Trish versus Jacqueline was a special guest referee. McMahon and Flair in the street fight, that was really good. And then Chris Jericho versus The Rock, that was really good for the Undisputed title. And then we had our participants for a shot at WrestleMania 18 was Rikishi, Goldust, Bossman, Bradshaw, Lance Storm, Al Snow, Billy Gunn, Undertaker, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Maven, Scotty 2 Hotty, Christian, DDP, Chuck Palumbo, The Godfather, Albert, Perry Saturn, Steve Austin, Val Venus, Test, Triple H, The Hurricane, Farouk, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Angle, Big Show, Kane, RVD, and Booker T were your participants in the Royal Rumble. And I was very surprised that Maven actually eliminated Undertaker here. I think it was, or was it 2003 Rumble? Someone let me know in the comments. Either way, that one still surprised me. But this was a great Rumble. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. Number 2 and 1, you might be different in your opinion, but we got, for number 2, we got Survivor Series 2002. Everyone says it's the greatest Survivor Series of all time. I don't disagree with you on that. We had Jamie Noble versus Billy Kidman for the Cruiserweight title. Trish Stratus versus Victoria. Jeff Hardy, Bubba Ray, and Spike Dudley versus 3 Minute Warning and everyone's favorite Rico. We had Rey Mysterio and Edge versus Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle versus the Guerreros in a triple threat tag team title match. We had Brock Lesnar versus Big Show for the WWE title, which a lot of you say wasn't the best. Okay, that's true, but I was very glad to see that Big Show won this match, and I was really happy that he actually won the title. And then we had the Elimination Chamber match. Triple H, Chris Jericho, Kane, Booker T, RVD, and Shawn Michaels in the first ever Elimination Chamber match, which is really great to see Shawn Michaels come back and win the Elimination Chamber match in the World Heavyweight Championship. And my number one pay-per-view that I thought was great in this era was No Way Out 2004. Really, this pay-per-view is known for Eddie Guerrero finally winning the WWE title, which is why I had to make this one number one. APA versus the World's Greatest Tag Team was pretty good. Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty versus the Basham Brothers versus Hardcore Holly. Oh, it's Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty versus Basham Brothers. We had Rikishi versus Rhino. Hardcore Holly versus Rhino. Nydia versus Jamie Noble. And then Jamie Noble had to wear a blindfold in that match. Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title. Kurt Angle versus John Cena versus Big Show. Number one contender gets a WWE title shot at WrestleMania. Kurt Angle actually made John Cena tap out here, which was interesting because they said John Cena's never tapped out before. And then we had Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero, and we had Goldberg spearing Brock Lesnar here and helping Eddie Guerrero win the title. So that was pretty cool. So this is my list of my favorite pay-per-views of the Ruthless Aggression Era. Tell me what you think what your top 10 list would be. Don't forget to check out Relaxing Ghosts video that I said earlier. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like. Let's try to reach that goal of 300 subscribers by the end of the year. We still have a long ways to go, so let's try and reach that goal. I hope you all have a great day, and White Stoner is out.